Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Thomas Reactions YouTube channel. Today, just want to discuss. It's probably going to be a short video, but I just want to discuss this. Last night was Creator Clash 2. I'm not big on Creator Clash. I have no problem with it. I just don't follow it because I don't know half the people that are in it. I'm not in that sort of scene in YouTube. I mean, I'm not in it, but I mean, like, I don't watch that sort of scene in YouTube. You know what I mean? But I do try to stay tuned and see what happens. Proud of my guy John Morrison or John Hennigan knocking out Harley from Epic Mealtime. That was pretty sick, although the knockdown was a bit shit. Still nice to see the wrestlers doing well. Although I don't really care for John Morrison, no offense. But the main event, that's what I want to talk about. iDubbbz, his second fight. Alex Wasabi, his second fight. Now, both these men, it's been a year since they've fought. Wasabi's last fight was Deji, which was in March of 2022. iDubbbz's last fight was a year ago. Creator Clash 1, which was April of 2022. Right? Let me discuss this. Alex Wasabi's last fight, when he beat Deji, right? It was a Deji that wasn't mentally there, a Deji that wasn't performing well, right? And this was what we thought was the comeback fight, right? It was Wasabi's first fight. It was time to see what he was actually made of and see if he could back up all the talk he was making over the years. And Deji had lost all the weight. We thought, Deji could win. And then it turns out the whole fight, Deji didn't throw and Deji just did this. And just did all that. It didn't just, he thought, oh yeah, if I just, you can't hit me. And then Wasabi just every now and then, when Deji would come in close, Wasabi just, wasn't the best of a performance, but he technically did win because of the points. And iDubbbz's last fight was, although iDubbbz is not the best boxer, it was nice to see because Dr. Mike was winning, Dr. Mike was punching more, but iDubbbz was sticking in the fight, iDubbbz was putting on pressure. And you'd think with a year they'd get so much better. And I'm not discrediting them whatsoever. But the skill it's just not there, you know what I mean? And that's like the reason iDubbbz didn't win the fight. It's because he doesn't have the boxing skill. And like he said, he's not a sporty person. He was never sporty before this. He says going into boxing, it's learning the sport that he doesn't give an ounce of a shit about. Right, you know what I mean? So his punches are all like they're very slow and soft and predictable, you know? Not actually, you know, they're not even predictable. They're just slow and soft, so they're easy to counter. And the one thing, you know, what I will respect about iDubbbz, and that's what Alex Wasabi said about him, where he said, iDubbbz has a chin. iDubbbz can take a shot, and he has heart, he has will. He'll keep fighting on, he'll keep making it a fight, even if he's not, you know, even if he's just, he'll keep the fight going. He'll get in a clinch, he'll make it rough and tough. But Wasabi, again, like, he still got hurt by iDubbbz a bunch of times, and Wasabi's just, Wasabi's best weapon is his check hook with the left one, right? So he was fighting orthodox, right? Unless I'm just stupid, right? Every time iDubbbz would come in, catch him with a check hook, which was Wasabi's best weapon, because once he catches him with that check hook, that's knocked him off balance, so that's at least kept him at distance and stopped him coming in. Wasabi can counter with anything he wants, you know what I mean? You can hit him with a check hook, hit him with a straight right, hit with a check hook, catch him with an uppercut, you know what I mean? But nah, it went all the rounds. Wasabi won, fair play, whatever. But to think, over 6 months ago, Wasabi was going to fight KSI, right? And he's like, oh, I ducked out because of concussion, whatever. Wasabi would get his ass handed to him by KSI, right? This isn't me meat riding KSI, as a bunch of people like to say. Wasabi would get his ass handed to him by KSI, by Deji. If they fought again, Deji would literally mop the floor with him. Slim, Gibb, Sub Pappy, anyone, right? Not anyone. Like, he's the average influencer boxer who steps in there and doesn't give it their all. You know, they can maybe either throw a punch but don't have stamina, or they have stamina but can't throw a punch. Wasabi has stamina. He can throw punches. He's just mid. You know, I hate using mid, I hate using all these terms, but he's mediocre, he's amateur at best. So I try, you know what? I'm interested to see, because Wasabi, he's won both his fights, right? All credit to him. He's won both his fights, but he won a beat up Deji and iDubbbz, right? I'm interested to see. I'm intrigued. I want him to prove me wrong. I want him to get in the ring with another challenger or someone who's been calling him out. FaZe Temper's been calling him out. FaZe Temper's been on a terrible losing streak, because everyone thought he was so sick when he beat King Kenny on a overturned decision, which let's be honest, was originally his fight to win. And but then he caught a knockout from Slim, which was unfortunate. But then he knocked out Overflow in one round, which again, he's not a challenger. He's not even practice, right? And then he lost KSI. But when he's won, it's been impressive wins. When he's lost, it's been unfortunate losses to hard guys. So why not fight FaZe Temper? FaZe Temper's been calling out Alex Wasabi. Make that fight happen. I'd love, that fight. I honestly believe that fight could be even, because I think Wasabi has a bit more power, but Temper is the better boxer in my eyes. Even a Deji rematch, Deji's fighting Swarms now. If he beats Swarms or he loses to Swarms, he could rematch Alex Wasabi, and that fight would sell. That fight would make perfect sense, and I think Deji would bang him up. If he even stepped in the ring with KSI now and followed through with the KSI fight, knocked out first round, I could put money on it. But don't quote me, because I have a terrible thing when it comes to predictions that they always backfire on me. So you know what? Don't, if you're watching this video, don't quote me. Don't come back to me after his next win if he looks impressive in his next fight and be like, "Ha, bitch, look what happened." Because you won't see this video anymore. This didn't happen. I'm speaking my thoughts on what I saw. Like it, only I don't give a shit if you like my opinion. That's my opinion. That's why I made a reactions channel. That's why I like talking sport. Who doesn't like talking sport? I'm not shit talking the guy. I'm just giving my opinion on what I saw, because I like to talk fighting, and why talk with real people in real life when you can put it out there, put your opinion out there, and get involved in the scene. You know what I mean? All these, if an influencer if I ever got lucky enough that an influencer saw my videos and went, "Oh, you're bullshit, and why don't you fight?" I'd love to, but I'm 15, my friend. And I can't afford a boxing coach. So maybe one day I'd love to one day. Maybe if I'm shit, I'll just enjoy it. A lot of influencers do that. They don't win, but they just enjoy it, which I completely respect, because it's crossover boxing. It's not professional boxing, you know what I mean? But some people take it seriously and actually like it. And I'm like, you know what? Looks sick, you know what I mean? I'd love to do it, because I'd love to win, but I'd also just love to get in there and throw hands. But if I'd love to get in there and throw hands, I'd hate it to be against someone I've talked shit about, you know what I mean? Because if I've talked shit about them, I want to win. I want to win, you know what I mean? If anyone else where it's just a set up boxing match, I'd love to just get in there and just give hands, you know what I mean? But yeah, thanks for watching. That's just my opinion on. Well, I thought it was going to be a short video, but you know what? It's ended up being 8 minutes of me talking about iDubbbz versus Alex Wasabi on Creator Clash 2. I was about to say iDubbbz versus Wasabi 2. You don't need to know that.